आप देख रहे हैं डीडी कशिर, एहसास कश्मीर का।
Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Shreyasa Vijay. Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. Activists from Pakistan's illegally occupied GB and POK say that they are an integral part of India. Kashmiri girls playing a vital role towards preserving Kani shawl. Construction of indoor sports stadium in full swing in Pulwama district. A newly established silk weaving factory in Jammu to benefit around 40,000 people across the region. The amendment of Article 370 has not just irreversibly cemented Jammu and Kashmir as an integral part of India like other states, but has also brought into focus the future of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan, the territories that belong to India but have been under Pakistan's illegal occupation for the last 7 decades. Now, as it's been a year since the article was amended, the people of GB and POK are hopeful that the territories will soon get freedom from the clutches of Pakistan and become a part of India, a country to which they legally belong to.
Ever since the amendment of Article 370, Pakistan and its intelligence agency ISI have left no opportunity to spread fake and malicious rumors about India. Be it about the prevailing situation in Jammu and Kashmir or the reaction of people belonging to Gilgit-Baltistan and POK, Pakistan has only spread lies and tried to tarnish the image of India in front of the international community. But its fake propaganda got badly exposed when the activists from Gilgit-Baltistan and POK came forward and declared openly that they are an integral part of India since October 1947, when Maharaja Hari Singh signed the Treaty of Accession with the country and Pakistan has illegally occupied their territory. Now, as 1 year is complete since the article was amended, activists feel that this step of the Indian government has not just given a boost to development in Jammu and Kashmir, but has also offered the brightest light of hope for the people in Gilgit-Baltistan and POK.
हम इस बात को यकीनी तौर पे मानते हैं कि हम रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर का हिस्सा थे। 1947 में महाराजा जो थे वो हमारे हुक्मरान थे, कानूनी हुक्मरान थे, जायज़ हुक्मरान थे। ये सारी की सारी ज़मीन उनकी थी और उन्होंने एक आइनी तौर तरीके से इंडिया के साथ इल्हाक किया। और ये इल्हाक जो था ये कोई कोई एब्रप्ट किस्म का, कोई आर्बिट्री किस्म का कोई ऐसा फैसला नहीं था। ये तो पूरा का पूरा एक आइनी तरीक़ाकार वज़ा किया गया मलका बरतानिया के निज़ाम के तहत, जिसके तहत उन्होंने इंडिया के साथ इल्हाक किया। और रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर में 5 अगस्त तक हम रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर के इंटीग्रल पार्ट थे। फिर 5 अगस्त को इंडिया के जो आइन है उसमें तरमीम करके आर्टिकल 370 को हटाया गया और 2 यूनियन टेरिटरी बन गए और आज हम जो है लद्दाख यूनियन टेरिटरी का हिस्सा हैं। तो चूंकि मैं अपनी नेशनल आइडेंटिटी, कल्चरल आइडेंटिटी लद्दाख के साथ देखता हूं, इसलिए मैं समझता हूं कि ये जो 5 अगस्त का फैसला हुआ है, जिसके बाद लद्दाख की यूनियन टेरिटरी बन गई है, उसमें उन लोगों को फलने फूलने का बहुत ज़्यादा मौका मिलेगा। उनको अपने तौर तरीक़ों पर जीने का एक हक़ हासिल हो गया है और उससे अगर मुस्तक़बिल में गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का उनके साथ इत्तेहाद हो जाता है, तभी इत्तेहाद फिजिकल इंटीग्रेशन होता है, तो हमें भी उससे यकीनन बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा होगा, तो ये बहुत अच्छा फ़ैसला है।
Expressing their support to its decision of amending the Article 370, many activists from Gilgit-Baltistan and POK also celebrated the first anniversary of the amendment. A political activist hailing from Mirpur in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, who is currently living in Scotland, celebrated the day by cutting a tricolour cake and releasing balloons in the air.
भारत माता की जय!
Feeling proud of the day, Amjad Ayub Mirza said that the amendment of Article 370 has marked the beginning of the end of Pakistan-sponsored jihadist violence in Kashmir and has helped the people of POK to become the part of India.
आज हम बड़े खुश हैं क्योंकि आज पहली सालगिरह है एब्रोगेशन 370 के आर्टिकल की, जिसकी वजह से आज हम जो POK के लोग हैं, हम भी आज हिंदुस्तान का हिस्सा बन गए हैं। पूरी फैमिली इसमें शामिल है और हम बहुत खुश हैं और मोदी जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
The people of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan have been facing the brutality of Pakistan for years in the form of torture, false sedition and terrorism charges, life imprisonment for opposing onslaught on their resources and much more. Pakistan has only used their land, changed the demography of their region, but has never given them any constitutional rights. After the amendment in Article 370, these people are hopeful that they will soon be a part of India, their legal heir, and will live a life of respect and dignity.
For past 7 decades, Pakistan has systematically exploited the natural resources of illegally occupied POK and has deprived people of the fundamentals. Such is the situation today that the locals are struggling to have even basic amount of drinking water. First, the lifeline of the valley, River Neelam, was diverted to Punjab to cater to the luxuries of Punjabis, the most favoured class in Pakistan, and now even its meek flow has been converted into a runnel by the garbage dumped around it with the government's authorization.
River Neelam, that would once flow in its full glory during annual monsoon rains, is struggling to fill even its banks. All thanks to Pakistan's Neelam Jhelum hydropower project that not only diverted the flow of river waters to Punjab province, but in the process dried up the river to a severe extent. With this move, Pakistan even took away the most basic right from the Kashmiri people under its occupation. But it hasn't stopped here, and now it is all set to convert even the meekly flowing stream of River Neelam in Muzaffarabad into a runnel by dumping garbage on its banks.
इस वक्त जो है ये दरिया नीलम में इस मौसम में ये पानी जो है अपने पूरे पीक के ऊपर होता था और आज सूरत हाल ये है कि एक नाले की शक्ल इख्तियार कर गया है और हमारी जो मौजूदा हुकूमत है और उसके जो अदारे हैं उनकी सूरत हाल ये है कि इसी दरिया के किनारे पे जो है वो बेतहाशा जो है मलबा और कूड़ा करकट फेंक रहे हैं। जहाँ पर हम खड़े हैं इस वक्त, यहाँ से अंदाज़ा फरमा सकते हैं आप कि दरिया की क्या सूरत हाल है और यहाँ पे जो इसके दोनों किनारों के ऊपर जो मलबा और कूड़ा करकट फेंका गया है उससे इस दरिया की जो है और अबतर सूरत हाल हो रही है।
While the water level in the Neelam River has declined drastically, the little available amount is no better than sewage. In addition, the proposed construction of the Kohala project on River Jhelum is set to worsen the water woes of people living in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Locals say that Pakistan has traded their lives with China as this massive project will be built under the China's flagship China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Moreover, it will also deepen the water crisis in the region along with disrupting the ecology.
हमारे यहाँ सूरत हाल ये है कि लाखों की आबादी का ये शहर है और जो गुड गवर्नेंस के लिए हुकूमत पाकिस्तान हमारी गवर्नेंस के लिए मौजूद है वो हमारे दरिया बंद करके हमें जो है बिल्कुल बेकस और लाचार करने के दर पे है। ये दरिया जो है हमसे छीन लिया गया। इसकी सूरत हाल ये है कि अभी इस वक्त पानी ना होने के बराबर है। उसके साथ साथ जो है हमारी जानों के जो है ऊपर, हमारी ज़िंदगियों के ऊपर उसका सौदा करके हमारे हुक्मरानों ने हमारा जो दरियाई झेलम है उसको भी जो है वो वापडा के और चाइना के हाथों फरोख्त कर दिया है। जब वो दरिया भी बंद हो जाएगा तो इस शहर का जो टेम्परेचर है वो बढ़ जाएगा। तरक्की ज़रूर होनी चाहिए, लेकिन इंसानी ज़िंदगी के ऊपर दुनिया के किसी भी खिते के अंदर, मुल्क के जो है अंदर इंसानी ज़िंदगियों के ऊपर जो है वो तरक्की नहीं होती।
Ever since Pakistan has invaded the erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, it has exploited its lands and resources. The locals who have the real prerogative have been denied even a minuscule share in profits. Pakistan has been manufacturing lies and floating propagandas regarding the region. But the truth is that people have been leading a life of misery owing to Islamabad's exploitative designs.
Moving on, Kashmir is a land of heritage and cultural abundance. In its lap lie a number of different arts, crafts, handlooms, handicrafts and much more. Kashmiri shawls like Pashmina are famous around the world for its quality and texture. To preserve this handloom treasure of the territory, Kashmiri girls in Kupwara district are coming forward to make the famous Kashmiri Kani and Pashmina shawls.
From weaving very fine designs on the carpets to using vibrant colors on shawls or woolens, Jammu and Kashmir's handloom has created magic all over the world. Among various handlooms for which the territory is famous for, Kashmiri shawl, which is identified by its distinctive weave made from fine shahtush and pashmina wool, occupies a special place. Famous around the world for their texture, warmth and detailed designs, Kashmiri shawls are exported to different countries around the world like China, America and New Zealand and have an increased demand. In order to preserve this golden handloom treasure of the Union Territory, women folk from far-flung areas of Kupwara are being trained in making the traditional Kashmiri Kani shawl, which is the standard design of Kashmiri shawl.
हम यहाँ पे करते हैं कानी शाल का काम, जो ना सारे वर्ल्ड में फेमस है, लेकिन इसकी एक खास अपनी जो है पहचान होती है, अहमियत होती है। इसमें हम लगते हैं 6 महीने भी लगते हैं, 6 महीने से ज़्यादा भी। जैसा जो काम होता है, इसकी जो तालीम होती है वो अलग अलग किस्म की होती है, कभी कोई टफ होती है तो कभी कोई इजी होती है।
An initiative by the Handloom Development Department of the Union Territory, these girls are being taught at a training center at Kulangam area of Kupwara district. The training center has a well-trained instructor that teaches them the art of careful weaving and crafting of delicate Kashmiri shawls. The motive is to provide skill training to the women of the region and generate more employment opportunities.
हम चाहते हैं कि ये आगे और बढ़े, ताकि कानी शाल भी आगे बढ़े और हम लड़कियों का रोज़गार भी बढ़े। ये जैसे कि यहाँ का फूल जो मशहूर है, इसी तरह ये भी कानी शाल भी यहाँ पे कश्मीर में बहुत ज़्यादा मशहूर है, ये फेमस है पूरी दुनिया में।
तो किस तरह यहाँ सिखाता है, कौन आपको ये लूम वगैरह देता है?
सर ये तो डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से लूम आते हैं, तो वहीं पे फिर हमें वहाँ से सर आता है जो हमें सिखाता है, जो बहुत अच्छा सर है, वो हमें सिखाते हैं यहाँ पे।
Moreover, in order to provide financial assistance to these women and encourage them to become self-reliant, the government has also been providing aid to these artisans by means of centrally sponsored Mudra Yojana. Launched in the year 2015, Mudra Yojana aims to provide integrated financial support to small and micro enterprises. Under the scheme, loans up to 10 lakhs are given to non-corporate and non-farm businesses. Till the year 2019, loans worth 20.84 crore rupees had been sanctioned under the scheme. With the help of Mudra scheme, these women are purchasing raw material and new looms, which are the basic requirements for making kani and pashmina shawls.
यहाँ सर ये कहानी शाल सिखाने के लिए मेरे सर अगर हम इनको 2 साल की ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं फिर तो सर ये बच्ची अगर अपने घर में सीखेगी अगर बैंक तो फाइनेंस को कर देगी ये तो सर अपना रोज़गार कमा सकते हैं इसलिए सर ये ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम है.
It is due to these initiatives taken by the central government that women in Jammu and Kashmir are becoming more skilled and are progressing towards a happier, successful and independent life.
From providing financial aid to young sportsmen to organizing various sports competitions and events, a number of steps have been taken by the authorities in Jammu and Kashmir to promote the sports sector. In the same line of efforts, an indoor sports stadium is being constructed in Pulwama district of the Union Territory.
The young sports enthusiasts are all set to display their talents and breathe a new lease of life for sports and games in the valley. As a part of the endeavour, the Jammu and Kashmir government has already commenced the construction of an indoor sports stadium in the Union Territory. According to the officials, after the construction of the stadium, budding athletes and sportsmen in the valley will not only get apt facilities to learn and display their talent with the help of trained coaches and staff, but will also help the territory in creating a considerable number of jobs.
स्टोरी में बना रहा हूँ पे उसमें भी मुझे लग रहा है करीबन 22 के इंडोर गेम्स जो हैं 22 गेम्स वहाँ पे खेले जाएंगे एंड एक्सपेक्टेडली कि विद इन द 2 months दैट मीन्स बाय द एंड ऑफ अक्टूबर अराउंड ये हमारा स्टेडियम विद जो इंडोर स्टेडियम भी है वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा.
The initiative has been taken under the central government's idea of building indoor stadiums in all the districts of Jammu and Kashmir, with each one costing around 4 crores. These stadiums would offer multi-utility sports facilities for the local youth in order to bring up their talent and provide them with a platform to showcase it. Undertaken by the engineering wing of the Sports Council of Jammu and Kashmir, the stadium will be having all the facilities like gymnasium, volleyball and badminton courts. Citizens and local players appreciated this step taken by the central government, as it will help the budding talent of the area to showcase their potential.
यहाँ पर खेलने के लिए कोई जगह ही नहीं था. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने यहाँ पे बहुत बड़ी ये प्रोजेक्ट बनाया कि इसमें काम अभी चल रहा है. खेलने के लिए बच्चे भी खेल सकते हैं, छोटे बच्चे भी बड़े बच्चे भी खेल सकते हैं, क्रिकेट खेल सकते हैं, वॉलीबॉल, फुटबॉल, क्रिकेट.
There is a lot of talent in Jammu and Kashmir, and the authorities are leaving no stone unturned to give wings to the talented youngsters in the territory. First edition of Khelo India Winter Games 2020, Jammu and Kashmir, was held at Gulmarg. Around 1,123 athletes from 21 states and union territories participated in the grand event. International Bakshi Stadium for football is in advanced stage of its completion. Coaching facilities in different sports disciplines to 1,26,000 trainees have been provided, training at various coaching centers. About 16,000 girls, mostly from rural areas of the territory, have been provided the coaching.
इससे हमें बहुत फ़ायदा मिलेगा खेलने में, मतलब कि खेलने में ये बहुत अच्छा कदम उठाया गवर्नमेंट ने बच्चों को एंजॉय करने के लिए, क्योंकि क्रिकेट खेलने से बोलते हैं कि बहुत फ़ायदा मिलता है, इधर उधर घूमने में अच्छा फ़ायदा है हमें इंडोर स्टेडियम का।
With the setting up of the stadium, youngsters will get ample opportunities to excel in a number of different games and sports, and can also get a chance to play at national and international level. Moreover, it is widely believed that the initiatives on the part of the state government such as these will not only help in reviving the sports activities but will also encourage more youngsters to join the sport.
The sericulture industry acquires a prominent place in the industrial development of Jammu and Kashmir. A large number of people in the territory are dependent on it for their livelihood. Considering this fact, a number of steps have been taken by the authorities time and again to give boost to this age-old vocation. Establishing a silk weaving factory in Samba is yet another initiative of the government to improve the livelihood of silk rearers and weavers across the territory.
Producer of the best quality mulberry silk in India, Jammu and Kashmir has the age-old traditional sericulture industry, which even finds a mention in ancient scriptures. To promote this industry and provide more employment opportunities to the locals, government has taken a number of positive steps. The recent one being the establishment of silk weaving factory and silk filatures in the Bari Brahmana area of Samba district.
अभी हाल ही में हमने जम्मू में सिल्क प्लांट का इनॉग्रेशन करवाया ऑनरेबल लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के हाथों से। वो हौसला अफजाई थी उन सभी लोगों का जिनने मेहनत करके एक प्लांट सेटअप किया, जिसमें कोकून की ट्रीटमेंट से लेके सिल्क प्रोडक्शन तक और साड़ी और इस तरीके के प्रोडक्ट्स की डिज़ाइनिंग तक का सारा काम जो है वो इन हाउस डिपार्टमेंटली हम लोगों ने डेवलप किया।
Developed in a record-breaking time span of merely 2 years, the silk weaving factory is made with a total budget of Rs 16.80 crores, whereas the silk filatures have been developed in a total budget of Rs 6.64 crores. The factory has already produced around 4,60,000 meters of silk fabric by gathering the silkworms and harvesting the cocoon to collect the material, which is later extracted into threads that is spun to develop the cloth. The factory is expected to benefit around 40,000 families associated with the sericulture across the Jammu region.
Immediately 40,000 families will be benefited by government intervention, by इस establishment से नए फैक्ट्री जो काम इन जम्मू आई, फ्लेचर आया, then slick weaving factory आई, JKI on behalf of government will be there to intervene in the cocoon market.
Jammu and Kashmir produces international grade silk, which is mainly required by power looms and export-oriented units. Around Around 2,800 villages in the Union Territory have sericulture as an important economic activity. Out of these, 1,500 villages are situated in the Kashmir division and the remaining 1,300 villages in the Jammu division. Moreover, the territory has around 75 lakh mulberry trees and produces around 900 metric tons of silk every year. As sericulture is one of the most potential agriculture vocations with low capital investment and high returns, and the only cash crop in agriculture sector that gives returns within 30 days, a number of people in J&K have also set up their own silk rearing units.
गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। जे गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो फैक्ट्री लगाई गई ना, उससे बड़ा फ़ायदा हुआ। हमारे लोग भी अब काम करेंगे, लोगों को फ़ायदा भी होगा, शौक भी होगा लोगों को। हम ये चाहते हैं कि हमारे उधमपुर में भी लगाई जाए, जितनी उधमपुर में बहुत जगह है, उधमपुर में भी लगाई जाए ताकि लोगों को शौक पड़े और लोगों को अच्छा रेट मिले।
Known around the world for producing the finest varieties of silk, which includes lotus, iris, tulip and neil, Kashmir's historic silk, which was on the verge of extinction once, is making a silent comeback. Moreover, with the implementation of central government schemes like Silk Samagra, which aims to scale up the production of silk by improving quality and productivity, the sericulture industry is definitely going to get a boost in the territory.
So, that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from the entire production team.
कोरोना वायरस जैसी वबा से बचने के लिए किसी से भी मुसाफा न करें। एक दूसरे से कम से कम 1 मीटर की दूरी बरकरार रखें। आंख, नाक और मुंह को न छुएं। खांसते और छींकते वक्त मुंह और नाक को ढांपे रखें। साबुन से बार-बार हाथ धोएं और अल्कोहल वाले सैनिटाइजर का इस्तेमाल करें। तंबाकू चबाकर थूकने से बाज रहें। जिस भी सतह को छूना पड़े, उसकी सफाई यकीनी बनाएं।
आप देख रहे हैं डीडी कश्मीर, एहसास कश्मीर का।